Here we go. Good morning. Good morning. So I'm a minute late, but I'm getting there. Fuel is done. These guys are pushing already. Man, they just don't give one a chance, eh? So let's get the packs on. Let's get going. Good morning, Alex. We're going to do a heading select takeoff this morning. We need to vector ourselves on route there. 7, 7. I think that's what I remember. Let's check. Uncle John, the wolf. Alright, so now take out the cap. I have to increase this range. Hello, Gilbert. Goeiemorgen. Right, okay, let's stick. What an approach. What a dog line leg there, eh?
Inverness, ground, Skymatix VA Flight T8, taxi to runway 05, holding point Alpha 1, Skymatix VA Flight T8.
Inverness traffic, Molecule 4, taxi to Holland Point from Redeem.
Inverness traffic, Skymatix VA Flight T8, line await runway 05, Skymatix VA Flight T8.
Yeah, we can do that later. Okay, good. Let's continue.
Ready for pre-flight procedure.
That was a good guess. And we are loaded. Oh, cool.
Flight attendants prepare for departure, cross-check and all call, thank you.
Trim up.
Alright, we've got everyone strapped in. Give us a ring if you need anything.
We still got 2 minutes on the alignment. I'm a bit fast. Alright, so that's done, that's done, that's done.
Ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
Need 2 minutes before engine starts, so that's fine. Switch you off.
Inverness traffic coming.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
Inverness traffic, Skymatix VA 4, line up and wait to you.
Before start procedure.
Before start procedure.
Tow connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
Right, we can now hold on to that one for a while.
Before start procedure complete. Ready for before start checklist.
Traffic coming. 9 airborne and passing 1,000 feet. Climbing to flight level 370. Skymatix VA 9.
Sounds nice, Alex. I saw I had some Windows updates as well, but I guess you're talking about something a little bit more than just a Windows update. Yeah, go for it. Enjoy the flight. Môre Patty. Ja, dankie Selle daar by jou, hè. Ooh, okay, Alex. You got Discord on your phone or your laptop or something you're taking with? You can at least, then you can at least stay in contact. Oh, you know what? We can push now. Let's go.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Start number 2 engine. She didn't listen. Start number 2 engine.
Starting number 2 engine.
Thank you, Linda. Speaking of upgrading, yesterday I installed a new Wi-Fi 6 mesh Wi-Fi thing here in my house. So we get better Wi-Fi now, and it's amazing the speed. I'm actually streaming on the Wi-Fi right now. I'm getting exactly the same speed from the Wi-Fi as I get from my actual cable. Wonderful.
Operation complete. Set parking brake. Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
I got a special offer on CUDY, C-U-D-Y.
Starter cutout.
Start number 1 engine.
Starting number 1 engine.
Alex, I got
Tow is
entered.
disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal on the right. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
I got introduced to the brand probably 3-4 months ago.
N2.
They do quite nice wireless stuff. We've got a customer that requires USB network adapters with antennas. That is obviously much stronger and better than not having an antenna. And we're installing it all over the place. And then from there on, I started looking at their other products, and it's actually quite nice. Some nice stuff.
Starter cutout.
I used to have a Ubiquiti ACLR in the house here. I mean, that thing only runs at 870 megabits. This new thing runs at 3000 megabits. And it's Wi-Fi 6 enabled and all those things. So all the newer devices, including my PC here, love it now. And the one big difference between them is with Ubiquiti, you always need to use that app with the Java and all the other stories to make it work. And we are 3 guys on one site sometimes, and then we have to share passwords and share settings and do exports and imports and all. So this thing runs off its own little app on your Android phone. You just set it up there, and you know, we probably won't get it into the same situation like with the Ubiquiti, but we'll have to see. I mean, who knows? We'll see how it goes because Ubiquiti still seems to be the go-to for the commercial guys. Yeah. Right, I think that's done. Let's do this. Before taxi procedure. No, I don't have Wi-Fi 7. I've got Wi-Fi 6. Is Wi-Fi 7 a thing already? Don't tell me that. Hello, Marius.
Before taxi procedure complete. I am ready for before taxi checklist.
Ah. Right, so now we're going to do heading select. I recalibrated yesterday, so I hope the pedals are still good. Not going to worry initially. Ah, okay, lekker patty. All right, so I think that's it. Let's go. Oh, yeah, that helps if you look where you're driving, eh? No, I didn't keep score of when Tommy left. I'll give him another minute or two, then we'll go. Interesting, interesting. I have to read up a little more.
Approaching 05.
Runway 05 confirm.
On runway 05. Flaps, flaps.
Thank you.
Ready for before taxi procedure.
You're right, so that should be actually more than 3 minutes. Let's go. TOGA.
Takeoff thrust set.
Morning, Krister, and thank you.
80 knots. Throttle hold. V1. Rotate. Positive rate.
Get up.
Acceleration altitude. Approaching transition. stabilized. Transition altitude.
Awesome, Christian. Good luck with your work today. Yeah, this is Orbx, and I turned my sliders down to the left a little bit just to make sure I don't get any issues again. And it looks nice. Looks cool. Morning, Andy. Welcome.
Morning.
Hello, Sasso.
Hello.
How are you?
All good, you?
Also, all good, thank you.
Nice.
Just took off from Inverness on my way to Luton. You off or on standby, or where you at?
Flaps up.
I'm off.
Ah, nice.
Yeah.
Hello, Jean-Pierre.
Flight level 100. Landing light switches off.
I don't have ATC sound, Jean-Pierre. I've got Sasso with me, and that's the only other voice. Unless you can hear my son faintly in the background, but I don't think he's talking that loud today. So it won't be from my side.
I can only hear you.
Yeah. Morning, Jacob. Yeah, Zipo's taking a break, man. I spoke with him yesterday. He's okay. That's the main thing. You done some flying in the sim again, Sasso? I mean, explain, Zibo.
I did a flight the other day, but it was just circuit, very quick. And then I did a short flight with a friend of mine, and that was good. What else? Nothing.
Right.
Short flight looks nice. We had an issue at the beginning with the payload. What we had to do, we had to disconnect ourselves from the short flight without touching any switches, anything. Adjust the payload, each of us alone, basically, and then start again the short flight. That worked.
Got a question for you, Sasso. Jean-Pierre, that makes sense. Lister, it seems that Sasso stepped away for a moment. When he's back, we'll ask him.
No, I'm here, sorry. It's just that I forget that I have the push to talk now. So I keep talking alone, basically.
Okay.
So, Chris there, because it was
Florence LIRQ.
737-800. I think so, yeah. We don't fly with my company over there, but I think it's approved. Yeah. Should be fine. And then, was he another question there?
No, that was it.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
did you...
short.
Mhm.
He is short, but still, if you do the performance maybe with auto brake max, you can stay there.
So?
Yeah.
Did you see in Skymatix chat, the guy was on the localizer. Did you see the photo?
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Hmm.
On the localizer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was good.
Thousand to level off.
I seem to have made a good guess. According to Iveo, I'm about 3 minutes behind Tommy there, so that's all good.
Separation is working.
Yeah. Separation. I was the last one to take off, and I obviously wasn't concentrating on when he left. So I gave him like extra 2 minutes, and that seems to be exactly right. got 193 nautical miles for top of descent.
Good morning.
Hello, Mac.
Hello, Mac.
Is that one of those odd clouds?
Hello, Mac. Yeah, this is xEnviro, not Explain Clouds, Mac. And this is still that alpha version. There's no new version for xEnviro, so yeah, it's still got squares and funny things.
It's not the X-Plane 12.
No, not at all. Not at all.
That they... Okay.
Jacob, the only news I have is that I spoke with him yesterday and he's busy with work and family, so he's resting a little bit. In the light of the fact that X-Plane changed a couple of things that's influencing the Zibomod, I mentioned to him, you know, that is a thing. So there will be work when he comes back, but there's also at the same time no reason to chase your own tail. You know, there's no point in fixing it and then LR hasn't settled and then they revert back or they change something and then you have to fix something again. With the X-Plane real weather, the one thing that we've all noticed is that the aircraft rolls a lot left and right, left and right, left and right. As you can see with this weather engine, it doesn't. You know, we've also seen that the pressure changes in X-Plane causes the altimeter to go up, down, up, down, up, down, like a freaking yo-yo. And there was something else. I'm trying to think now. What was? Oh, yes. The misalignment of the localizer. I don't know if you guys have seen it. I've actually had it a couple of times now where the localizer just, the airport isn't in the place the aircraft expects it to be. So, yeah, small little things that's been introduced with the betas that obviously has an influence on the Zibomod and will have to be addressed. I didn't see a post like that, I must be honest, sorry. What did they say? What's the issue? Are you talking about the ballooning effect? Because that is something we know about, but I'm not sure if that's the same post you're talking about. So,
Yeah,
how much does the real aircraft balloon when you put the flaps out?
it does. If you don't counteract that ballooning, you can gain 200 to 300 feet.
You see, because
So
I
it's there. The ballooning is there.
okay, because I've noticed that it's very pronounced in this version. So it might be that Zibo purposefully put it in. We don't know. We'll have to wait for him to tell us. But I've noticed it in this version 40, definitely.
No. Yeah, you can definitely see it when flying manually. If you don't do anything, if you don't set the altitude you need and trim out the aircraft, then especially if you don't trim, as soon as you move your heads away, then you're gonna have a problem. You're gonna gain some altitude.
Gotcha.
I noticed another comment in Discord about engine out, and somebody was complaining about roll and yaw. I nearly put a post in and asked them to tell us how much trim was needed to balance it in cruise, to give us an indication of whether it was accurate or not.
To have an idea.
Because isn't it how many notches of trim is it for engine out? Say a cruise.
4 units. Well, cruise is less, but on departure, when you are usually below 10,000 feet or around 5,000 feet, it should be around 4 units of rudder trim.
Right, so we can check that out, perhaps see if there is a new standard that explain this coursing.
Right, so I'm all set for the descent and landing. Guys, I just want to go grab a glass of water quickly. I'll be back in a minute or two. I'm back. I'm back. So,
Yes.
did you see Jacob's question? I wasn't here, obviously, so I don't know if you answered that.
Ready for descent procedure.
No. Have a look.
Okay.
Is there any speed that you can have in mind when putting up flaps so close you have to be in speed to not get the ballooning effect? No, Jacob, you will get the ballooning anyway, even if you are on speed. Let's say you are at the up speed, you select the flap 1, you will have the ballooning. And that's because it's not a matter of speed, it's a matter of changing the profile of your wing. What you are effectively doing, you are increasing the area of your wing and the surface of your wing, and for this reason, because the surface is part of the lift formula, by increasing the surface you are increasing directly the lift value. And for this reason, if you don't do anything, you will not remain in straight level flight, but you will start a gentle climb.
Sasso, doesn't it also change the point of lift because you're extending the core?
Yeah. Yes, the let's say the coefficient, not really the coefficient of lift, but the center of pressure will change slightly. That is not really affecting us in terms of flying, because all we need to keep in mind is just to balance with the trim. So once you set your new attitude to maintain the level flight, and then you trim out that force required to maintain the new attitude, then the job is done. Were you in a descent rate? Because then it will be slightly different. You will notice the ballooning, especially if you are in level flight or if you are on the ILS. If you are on the ILS and let's say you are on a 3 degrees glide, you just go increase the flap setting. And I'm talking especially about flap 1 until flap 10, let's say, or even flap 5. More than flap 5, then you just create drag. But 1 to 5 as a flap, that's a huge generator of lift. They will give you a bit of drag as well, but mostly that's a lift generator. So you will notice the ballooning.
Approach top of descent.
DOD is almost here now.
Well, there will definitely be some ballooning from flaps up to flap 5 if you are on level flight, unless you are playing with the thrust at the same time. Because remember, guys, on the Boeing aircraft, where you have the engine mounted below the wing, then when you are reducing thrust, then you get this pitch down moment. So that, of course, will kind of counteract with the flaps. But if you don't play with the thrust, if you keep a stable thrust, and you will just do the flap, you will get the ballooning. Well, that sounds strange. I mean, the speed trim is a speed trim. It's nothing to do with the attitude. So the speed trim will try to bring the nose, or actually not the nose, but will try to bring the aircraft back to its trimmed state. In other words, if you are with no autopilot, if you are if you trim the aircraft for, I don't know, 200 knots, if the speed is going up, then the speed trim will try to give nose up to bring the speed back to 200. That's the speed trim function. It's a trim for the speed. It will create a small change on the attitude. It's not a matter of moving the yoke forward or backwards, but it's very little movement or even pressure on the control yoke. But if you don't do anything, you will get some altitude. You will gain altitude. I see these basically every day when flying raw data ILS for training purposes. One of the first things to remind pilots is, because we don't do raw data on the line, is when you are extending the flap, remember the ballooning effect. That's just by rule number 1. No, negative. The flight director will be reactive to whatever you set as a flap. The flight director will not consider that you are extending the flap until you extend the flap. One thing is at deceleration. One thing is reducing the speed, following the FMC and stuff like this. Then, of course, the flight director. But even there, the flight director is kind of reactive. The flight director will, now that we are in a descent, for instance, no, if Nico just increase in level change, if you go in level change and increase your speed a little bit, what the flight director will do will command more pitch down to gain the speed. Okay, now it's doing the opposite because the bug speed is less than what we had. But the flight director technically is always reactive.
Look,
There
it's
you
dipping.
go. So now you are increasing. The flight director is seeing that. So as a reaction, it's giving you a no stop. That's why, guys, it's important that we don't trust the lights on the MCP, but we always verify what the FMA is doing, what the FMA is giving to us. Because that's what the flight director will follow in a reactive mode. That's what the autopilot will do. So to know where the aircraft will be in 30 seconds, 1 minute, 2 minutes, you need to read your FMA. That's your vital part to fly Boeing. The flight director is reactive to the input that we send him through the MCP. Same thing with the flap. Jacobo is a bit, I mean, in the manual never talks about reactive or proactive. The thrust levers is something automatic, so it will have some calculation done behind the scene. But even there, sometimes, and that's very noticeable sometimes with the MAX simulator, you can get 1 or 2 knots below the speed if the thrust levers encounter, for instance, a change of wind while leveling off. So the thrust will start to go down. You will see that the autopilot is quicker than a pilot to counteract the nose down due to the reduction of thrust. But if there is a sudden change of wind, even the auto throttle will lose a couple of knots. And guys, luckily that's why we are still here as a pilot, otherwise it would be just a bloody computer flying these things. So I hope this will never change. I don't want anything to be really proactive, but I want the pilot to be proactive over the control. Otherwise, guys, we're going to be out of this cockpit sooner or later.
Well, imagine you're sitting at home and you're flying the aircraft like a drone. You come on the PA and you say to the customers, you know, the guys at the back, listen, I'm working from home today, so just hold on.
No, bloody no, please.
I agree.
No, it's not a matter of being gentle. For sure, the autopilot knows. Again, that's because it's just bloody automatic, so there will be a kind of Excel or Word or whatever page they use to program this flight director or the autopilot. For sure, he knows that at high speed, a lower change, a lower input in attitude means a greater change in the real view. So for the smaller the input, the greater the outcome at higher speed. And so for sure the autopilot will do smaller input that will get the same result. At low speed, low altitude, to get that result, you need to be a bit more, to give a larger input, let's say. But that's just how the aircraft works.
That's normal physics.
Yeah, I mean, you can see this even with the Cessna. If you are faster, then a small input on the yoke, you flip you around.
Yep. I was trying to fly the it was a twin turbo thing the other day. Let me try get the name of it. I'll tell you now, or else I'm gonna make an idiot of myself. Yes, I tell you that thing. It actually, what's the right English word now? It frustrated me, huh? Because you hardly touch the flipping thing and it goes all over the place.
Yeah. No, Jakob, the trim has a different speed if you have flap extended. Is not really regarding the situation. I mean, if you have a flaps up, the trim has one speed. If you start to extend the flaps, then the speed goes in high speed mode because it's considering the change of configuration, attitude, and so on. Yeah.
Because the Cessna 425. Oh, goodness. Yes, you just touch that thing and it just goes up, down, up, down. It took me a minute to get it to trim and to get it to settle. I felt like I was being shaken like a milkshake.
Yeah.
Send you a message as a private message.
Okay. Are you going to do full approach in Luton?
Yeah, the other guys are ahead of me, so I don't really want to take shortcuts. Then I'm gonna.
Yeah, true. Yeah, got it. Now is runway 0725. My God, the minima remained the same, 715. I still remember it. When I used to be based there, it was at 0826, the runway. And for 08, the minima was still the same, 715. Wow.
I've got Kevin and Tommy ahead of me in the same structure of that approach.
Yeah, that's fine.
I haven't noticed that at all. Eh? I never actually even looked there, to be honest. You're going to have to ask the guys who fly in the right seat to check things like that. I don't know.
That's so villagers. That's all selectable through the AFIS control panel, and you can just select or deselect as you can do on the captain navigation display. You can just select whatever you wanna show there.
I don't see anything out of the ordinary. Yeah, there's the stations, there's the waypoints, there's the data. I don't have anything out of place here. Even got my position indicator, but nothing out of the ordinary.
Flight level 100. Landing lights switches on.
Are you sure you don't just need a fresh install? Maybe the installation is broken. I'm pretty sure other people would have complained already if there were weird things. I don't know. I don't ever watch that site. Or hardly ever.
Skymatix VA is turning to base 07 for ILS approach, runway 07, Skymatix VA.
Okay, but then go to the forum, right? Put it on the forum, put some pictures, because that's going to be the easiest way for us to nudge Zibo to go take them out. Okay, so make a forum post, put the pictures in.
Approaching transition.
So Jacob, I've not been very active on the forum in a long time as well because of business and family. So yeah, every now and then I get a little email telling me to look at something, but that's it. I don't look at the rest. So nice going into the clouds like this.
Transition level. Ready for approach checklist.
That way the radar is getting filled up.
Flaps 1 set.
Luton traffic, Skymatix VA Flight T8 established on ILS runway 07, Skymatix VA Flight T8.
Number 4 to land. Better make sure I slow down.
Luton traffic, Skymatix VA Flight T8 landing on runway 07, Skymatix VA Flight T8. Luton traffic, Skymatix VA Flight T8 missed approach to high, Skymatix VA Flight T8.
Traffic Skymatix 04, established ILS 07, 9 miles 0.
Welcome.
Heathrow traffic, pushing back out of gate 508.
Lots of scenery in the UK have missing runway points and stuff. Wow.
For 9 is turn right. Direct Golf Whiskey 24, Skymatix for 9. Correction, turning left, Golf Whiskey 24, Skymatix for 9.
Luton traffic Skymatix 8, established on localizer.
London City traffic.
Runway 07.
Luton traffic Skymatix 04, runway vacated.
Thank you. Luton traffic Skymatix 8 on final ILS runway 07.
He's eating my resources. There's only one quick way of alleviating this now. Yeah, but it's not that. Nothing's changing yet. My FPS is like 6. Now it's 10. What the hell? Hope I can land this aircraft like this. Now it's a 11. No, there's nothing else of any significance we can really switch off. Wonder if I'm now the only one having this issue. You see, it set itself down to minimal. I don't know, man. Yeah, it's terrible. Hope it doesn't bomb now. I should have saved the flight before. Okay, here we go. 34 FPS.
Heathrow traffic taxiing holding point runway 09 right by Alpha.
Luton traffic Skymatix 8 vacated the runway.
Thank you, Tommy. Goes the FPS again. Might just have to keep it off. Let's just keep it off. You and I just said so. We should be okay.
No, reverting to 1013, Nico.
Sorry, you lost me. I'm not concentrating. Say again.
I think he reverted to 1013.
Is it?
Yeah, so no. Don't do that. Don't do that. We're gonna show what we do in real life if there is a mismatch by any errors between what ATC said and what we set up in the QNH.
Okay.
So, deselect approach.
Deselect approach.
Deselect approach. Just go Warlock.
London City
Warlock.
traffic, 09,
Okay, now VSD on.
7 London City traffic.
There you go.
If you increase the range, we should be able to see, guys, the runway. And technically, if we have a wrong QNH set, the runway will be depicted below the terrain. The terrain, now, as soon as the runway appears, you see we are already below the path. So that's already triggering me that something might be wrong. But look, the runway, I promise you, man, is gonna be below the terrain.
There, at the end, it is below.
You see? It's below the terrain. So that's the so-called QNH branded error. Now, on an ILS, it's not really an issue. But look, guys, radio altimeter, 2500 and 9.5 nautical miles. Now, 2500 on a 3 degrees glide, it should happen at around 7 to 8 nautical miles. Not so early. That's another trigger that something is wrong with the QNH.
Okay.
Okay, now go to 1013 as a QNH. You see, you are below. So your true altitude is below what was indicated. So now we are climbing back and we are recovering the path.
All right, but we need to place approach now.
Yes, yeah, go. Now, on an ILS approach, guys, that's not really an issue because we have the glide slope, okay? Use a bit of speed brake just to stay on speed. But imagine you're doing a non-precision approach in IMC, so you don't see the runway. And then, if you are really doing anything by error, you might...
Yeah, you might end up in the ground.
Maneuver. Exactly.
Cabin crew, take your seats, prepare for landing.
Luton traffic Skymatix 001 on the ILS for runway 07.
Ready for landing checklist.
Luton traffic Skymatix 09 turning base ILS runway 07 Skymatix 09.
Porpoising a little bit to try and get to that diamond over there on that glide slope. See, speed and stuff was obviously out. It needs to increase. But look where your runway is now. See, runway is now on the terrain, not under the terrain.
Excellent. So from there, you can spot any QNH error, which is called QNH branded error. Now, again, on an ILS, you have the glide slope, so it's not really an issue. You will see clearly that something is wrong. On an IMC, on a non-precision approach, where you have no glide slope unless you have EN, or even with the EN system on, you will show on glide, but you are below the correct path.
That's a good lesson here at number 99, Sasso.
You go.
Yeah, nice.
Clear to land runway 07.
500. 400. Approaching decision height. 3 knots. 200. 100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
5,000 feet.
Speed brake up. Reverse unlocked. Auto brake in use.
When the texture quality is so low, eh? Wow.
60 knots.
Good traffic, Skymatix
Yeah.
VA Flight T8,
Great
localized
landing.
07, Skymatix
You
VA
are
Flight.
professional.
You are professional.
Yeah, Daniel, I don't know what happened there. It wasn't just the xEnviro. I mean, we fixed the xEnviro and still did it. So, a bit of a mess. But the cost now is this terrible quality texture.
You know what we did yesterday, Nico? To be
Mhm.
completely fair, I just removed the map, whatever it's called. It was just creating. I had a flight, and John saw it. I did the flight, and it just created flat terrain with these kind of colors. Even if map enhancement was running, and it was just terrible. So
Yeah, but so.
I,
This new, let me just get off the runway. I think there's another guy coming in after me. Let me
Yeah,
just
yeah.
quickly get off. I want to show you something. Explain, laminar. They've changed the way the textures work in Explain. And it's laminar causing this. It's their new algorithm, their new calculations, their new way of displaying textures that's causing this. I'll show you now.
Yeah.
And the reason they do it is because they run out of resources. So their resource management, in essence, is the problem. They need to fix their resource management. Once that is fixed, this will also be better. I just want to stop right there. I'll show you quickly. See, it dynamically changes the texture resolution. You can have your slider anywhere you want. You can put it on maximum, doesn't matter. This thing tells you it's set it to minimal because that's the
I
only
never had
resource
this.
it's got.
Never had this
This is
message.
this is in the new beta that I've noticed it. It could have been there before. I didn't even noticed it. But this is new. This is something that they're playing with. So you can put this thing anywhere you want. It will determine by itself what the quality is that it's going to give you.
Okay.
See, look, I mean, it doesn't change anything because it just says, nah, we can't give it to you.
Yeah. Anyway, I just removed the map enhancement.
Gotcha.
Also because without running map enhancement, I was getting a problem. So you cannot start the sim without map enhancement running once it's been installed. So, you know, for the amount of flying I do, I'm more concentrated on the dynamics.
Understand.
You know.
Understand. After
like
landing
when we
procedure.
are in the real sim. When I am in the real sim, I just put always overcast 600 to be IMC till minima.
Runway vacated, Skymatix
It is when you do simulator training, you are always in IMC. Then if you are on your lucky day, you will see the runway at minima, so you can disconnect the land. If not, there will be a training for go around.
Understand. Alex, I think that's a good idea. We'll substitute Linda and put Sasso in the seat now. Hey, Sasso.
Oh. I'm not nice like Linda.
You're not nice like Linda. Oh, I think I might learn more from you. Never mind being nice or not. I will learn more from you than from her. There's Jean-Pierre coming.
Luton traffic, Skymatix 049, landing on runway 07, Skymatix 049.
Yeah. I'm lucky I've got a wife that wears special perfume too. This morning.
London City traffic, it's at 1352 type Airbus 320 passing 6,000 feet climbing 370 inbound ECNIV, London City traffic.
This morning when she came to say she's quickly leaving to go to the shops, it was a lovely smell, I tell you. Right, so let's get into this thing. Oh, I'm going to knock someone's wing if I'm not careful. Probably should have gone a bit left, but anyway, we'll keep our eyes open. We can do.
Luton traffic, Skymatix 049, backtracking.
Oh, he's here for the night, I promise you. He's not leaving.
Ready for shutdown procedure.
Shutdown procedure.
Shutdown procedure.
Right. And that is it. Thank you so much, everybody, for following with, chatting with us, all the support. Sasso, you were a star as always. Thank you for that. Right at the end, that was gold, man. That was awesome.
Believe it or not, that's part of the training we are doing.
I'm sure.
That's one of the risk areas that we have identified, especially when conducting non-precision approach. You might end up in this situation. And remember, guys, if you set an higher QNH than the real one, for instance, we were on 1024, but the real one, let's say, was 1013, then your true altitude will be less than the indicated altitude. And that's the worst case scenario, because you might end up in a terrain escape maneuver. Mitigation, VSD on, so you can see the runway if it's depicted over the terrain or below the terrain, and radio altimeter. Have a look at the radio altimeter guide. This will help your situational awareness. 2500 if you have flat terrain below you, on a 3 degrees glide should come at around 7 to 8 nautical miles. If it's way early, like 10 nautical miles, start to look at the QNH, ask the new QNH, double check your weather engine if you are in the sim, just in case.
100%. Excellent, excellent. So, guys, I don't want to be rude, but I need to run. I will catch up with you soon again. And again, thank you. Stay well. Bye-bye.
Bye.